In 2024, people are more diverse than ever. People are coming from different backgrounds, ethnicities, races, and all these things coming together to be on one singular internet. Now, the last thing we want to do is disrespect people, whether it be unintentional or intentional, because we have to connect with each other and be next to each other on this here great internet. We do not want to get off any nasty behaviors. But there's this ongoing trend on the internet that I like to classify as racism for clicks that, for the life of me, I just don't understand why it exists. Now, we've all seen what I've been talking about before. It's those people that do know about what is or is not racist, and they have other people who don't know say racist things, or those people that do know the things they are saying or are doing is racist and just use it as some sort of engagement or rage bait, or potentially those from adjacent communities or ethnic backgrounds, cultures, or whatever that may not understand the true severity or don't care because they can always just get underneath the bridge by saying it's okay, I'm Haitian or I'm X, Y, and Z. Now, I know you've all seen things like this happen.
Say it after me. Repeat after me.
Okay.
Nigga, please.
Nigga, please.
Now, before you get in this comment section and say, a word is a word, Omar, who really cares? Stop. That's not what this is about right here. Now, it's clear that this woman is a white woman, and it became clear later on that she was of Russian origin or something like that. She's not really from the country, so she doesn't know the magnitude of the word. However, Kai Cenat in this example does specifically know who this person is, what the word means, and what it can do. And it's kind of weird being in front of this room full of white guys who also know the severity of the word, having them snicker and giggle about it. Now, they all could be Russian for all I know, but ultimately, we know what's being done here. We know that racism against black people, the word nigga, is being used to gain some sort of clicks or traction or views. And speaking of Kai Cenat, he has brought on one of the biggest perpetrators of this specific type of act. You know him, you love him. I'm talking about Ray. If you don't know, and I'll probably have this story wrong, but Kai Cenat met this friend named Ray over in an Asian country and decided to take him underneath his wing. And it became abundantly clear that Ray was just totally immersed into American culture.
Hey, you gonna crash out, Ray? You good?
You gonna crash out, bro?
Oh wait, y'all the same height.
Yo, Ray's taller.
Y'all the same height.
He's stronger, Ray.
How? Y'all the same height. Oh yeah, cause it was stuff that you were
Come here.
Who y'all call bomber clap monkey?
Bomba clap. Fuck yeah.
But it became ever so clear to me that a lot of the situations in which Ray or maybe even his classmates were put in, they really don't even understand the context or severity of what they're saying. But it seemed like streamer Kai Cenat does.
Hey, what's up, my nigga? Yeah, nigga. Whoa.
Oh, man.
He's just like, yo, you just said it.
Man.
Say sorry.
I'm so sorry. Still say sorry.
Say sorry to them.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not gonna give Kai any indictment here because I don't think that he thought he would say that. Nigga is a part of his vocabulary, and it's a conversation for a different day about who can and who should and who shouldn't be saying the word, which we'll probably have later on. And I would like to chalk this off as like a one-off situation, but it's becoming abundantly clear that ever since Ray has come over to the United States or has hung out with some of the AMP guys or whoever in America, that this word has just become part of his everyday vocabulary.
It's a bitch. She got five. It's a bitch ass nigga. Damn. Bitch ass nigga. You know you're a bitch on us, right?
And again, maybe he's learned a little bit more since he's moved over here, but I think that Ray believes that this is just a part of normal American slang, vernacular, or whatever's going on. This is what the community that he is being around has taught him. I don't have any indictments on Ray. It's more so about the people around him who know what this is doing for the perception of Ray to certain people, etc., etc. They know that this word is a word that he should not be saying, but coaxing him into it or continuing to not acknowledge the fact that, hey, Ray, you should not be using these words, educating him on what this means, is doing him a disservice if he goes out there into a place in a space in which he should not be using the word. And I know that they've had some sort of conversation because he's getting to the point where he's begging to say the word.
Ray, you said nigga?
I want to.
You want to?
Yeah.
Fuck you mean you want to?
I want to, bro. I think
Honestly, I think that these people should be taking the Black Boy Max approach in this regard when people say the word nigga around them that think it's just a part of their culture or feel like this is just something that they can say because they're in these environments. Black Boy Max quickly shut down somebody who was in his room that was of Asian descent saying it around him and his people because they thought that it was cool.
Go get some money. Stop hating on me. Look at your fucking bank account. Is there money in there? No. No, nigga. Fuck.
Now, if you remember correctly, that girl got completely kicked out of Faye's house, all that stuff like that. And I don't believe that she's as ignorant as Ray is in these situations. So I'm glad that they handled that the way that they handled that. But we really got to start taking a deeper look at the people that know what these words are, know the severity of them, but task those that don't know what these words are and don't know what the severity is and have them say it. We can call it internet culture all we want in this video, but that isn't right. Now we've got to move on to the main culprits in this conversation. Those that are probably bigger perpetrators than the people that we previously talked about is those that do know the severity of these words, do know the severity of their statements, but then decide to continue to go on with the racist or xenophobic actions because they know it's some sort of engagement bait. Some of the nastiest culprits are the people that delve out these passes. You know what you're doing in these conversations, and I really don't even have to touch on it. It's honestly disgusting work what you're doing, especially when you have these people who are willing to do anything for clout and they take whatever you're giving them because you have the appearance of being cool or whatever the case may be, and they take it to heart and use it. I think that those people on both sides should be reprimanded, but I hate to see stuff like this happen.
Now.
Indians are niggas!
Now, why are we celebrating somebody black giving somebody not black the N-word pass to go ahead and say the word nigga as if it's some revolutionary freeing experience? And yes, you saw that right. The main perpetrator of things like this is Sneeko. Now, the reason why Sneeko feels like he can delve out or be the delegator of who says the word nigga or not is because he is half Filipino and the other portion is either Haitian or some sort of North African or something like that, which technically makes him half black. He's a mixed person. However, this is where I have to educate a little bit. From my understanding and what I know to be true, to be honest with you, is that the word nigga is a word that has been used long as time has been started for black people. But using it or claiming it for some sort of term of endearment or camaraderie or something that a friend will call a friend is something that is unique to African Americans, meaning Africans who became slaves in America and who lived through American chattel slavery, emancipation, Reconstruction, the civil rights movement, all those things. It was about the 1960s, 70s, 80s when it started being a term of endearment and a claiming back of those words. Why I say that is because no other culture or ethnic background for all these other groups of black people did any sort of work to reclaiming the word for anything positive. If you ask the grandparents of the Haitian generation, if you ask the grandparents of the African generation, none of them look at the word nigga as some sort of term of endearment. That is a very much no-no word. But because these kids have become Americanized and modernized, they feel as if it's okay for them to delve out the word nigga any way they see fit because they're black. And so you have Sneeko sitting around either dishing out N-word passes or letting it fly by people who he knows shouldn't be able to say it, but because he is black, he is the one who gets to dish out and delegate who gets to say the word.
What you been up to?
I don't know, kind of just focused on money and stuff right now. Not as much just like stupid viral clips, you know. Well, I mean, I did say like nigga in a video and
What the?
20 million views, but
Oh, nice. Farm black people for clout, respect.
so if you want to make 6 figures, just say nigga once a day.
She did nothing wrong. What, she made it like a joke on TikTok? How many Instagram videos, how many videos do we see of black girls and of like Spanish girls making fun of white girls all day long? Girls get on Instagram and then start twerking and talking about dancing to Sexy Red, which has more of a net negative. She said, nigga, so what?
Well, what Sneeko doesn't understand and the other people who cling on to their half black identity don't really understand in this conversation is that when you allow these things to fly, you create this super slippery slope of people doing stupid things like Master Oogway, who claimed to be only a part black in order to say the word.
Guys, it was just a word. All I did was say the word, nigga.
Or any of these other racially ambiguous people using the word to kind of rage farm and engagement bait anybody else by saying the word or threatening to say the word and then having to do weeks and months of backflips to convince people, hey, I'm black so I can say it even though I don't look back, trying to be all cutesy and whatnot.
What's up, my motherfucking nigga? Oh! Say what's up, my niggas?
Yo, what's up, my niggas?
Like, look at how nasty this imagery is by putting up Senna is half black in big bold letters and playing a soundboard or Chris mouthing the words or saying the words as soon as AIM says it. It's using racism to get people enraged and engaged in conversation. And I'm trying to figure out, why are we here at this place and space and today in comedy? Like, why are we getting the hard R tatted on us because we're low-key racially ambiguous and nobody can really verify, so we can just go ahead and say the word? And what I mean by create a slippery slope is now because you've unleashed the beast, gave out all these N-word passes, told this person and that person it was okay. Now you have all these other legitimately non-black, whether it be half or whole, people saying these words any and everywhere because, hey, it's okay. Blueface and Sneeko gave me an N-word pass.
You probably haven't had food in 6 days. You fucking
Ow, stop. You just scratched the fuck out of me, nigga.
Like, it almost even sounds forced when you say things like this. It doesn't even sound like you genuinely mean it in the way that it has its intention or meaning in today's society for black people to black people. And don't get me wrong, this doesn't just exist between people that are trying to attack or be mean or negative towards black people. It also exists with black people, white people, and other races or ethnic backgrounds as a whole. Like when I Show Speed was at a soccer game and did this to an Asian man.
Why you got on Argentina, bro? Konnichiwa? Konnichiwa? No, Chinese. Konnichiwa, Argentina. Chinese.
Trust me, with the rise of international and national mixes and flavors, you know, people crossing boundaries and borders, the xenophobia is also at an all-time high. Like, some of their stances make zero sense as to what's actually being talked about, like playing the sport versus just getting their shit off.
Almost lost to some Africans. And the king had to say, we almost lost to the Ahi tribe. This is crazy.
And it's crazy because you would think that in a day like this where people have decided to come together and be tied in with each other's cultures, that we would be tolerant of each other's differences and respect those, and then be able to work towards some sort of common goals and not hurt each other. But no, for whatever reason, we still go out here and we still perpetuate the same sorts of nonsense or intolerance or whatever the case may be. And maybe it's just for the views, the clicks, the engagement, but ultimately this stuff can be totally detrimental and can even cost you your career like it did Ryan Garcia.
Fuck you and fuck Muslims that fucking little kids.
You're gonna regret saying all of this when you
Guess what? I will never be touched because I'm with God. I'm with Jesus.
Now, since that drunken tirade went up on the internet by Ryan Garcia, he has been expelled from the WBC, and rightfully so. There's no need to be Islamophobic or racist or whatever you want to say to all the actions that he said, because I didn't get through all of it. He said some pretty disgusting things. And also a similar situation happened with that one girl who said the N-word while she was making a cake and then tried to grift into the right wing sphere, but nobody took her seriously because they found out that she potentially had a black baby and the right wingers wouldn't even really accept her. Look, I'm not trying to be totally PC here when we have these conversations, or do I even think cancel culture is truly real? But honestly, this is just blatant racism without any real sorts of jokes in here. This is getting people riled up and engaging them into this rage conversation so you can get more clicks and views. And this is also using people who don't understand what's really going on, making them say something to get them in a tizzy about it on the internet. Honestly, it's really low-hanging fruit. I've heard race-based jokes before. Don't think that they can't be done, but there has to be that extra step, that other portion of what I just said. Race-based joke, not just getting somebody to say a racial epithet and then turning and smiling and laughing at it. That's really lowbrow. And no, this isn't infringing on anybody's First Amendment rights or freedom of speech, because that's not what this is. Freedom of speech does not extend to these private platforms. They can take actions and punishments on you when you do something that's totally out of pocket like this. I don't think that everybody should just be running around saying these things, because it diminishes the history of what these people went through in order to get to the place that they are. But I don't know. I've seen a rise of the race-based comedy. Using racism for clicks is disgusting to me.